The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNCNow.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms an entire community that sees all things new. I am Alpha Sanford and I'm streaming live from Boston, Massachusetts. Tonight, you are with me for the second episode of Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher here at the TNC. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, mabuhay, good day to all of you who are with us right now. I am so thankful that you are spending your Saturday morning or your Saturday night, those who are in the Philippines, to be with me for today. So let's see, before we get going with our guest for today, I would love to see all of you who are with me to please put in your name, put in your location. I want to greet all of you who are with me. All right, putting in the comment section, plug in your name, your location, and I'll be here to put a shout out to all of you who are with us. All right, while you are doing that, let me tell this to you. If for any reasons we will have some time towards the end of the day or towards the end of the show later, I will give you some space to ask freely some questions to our guest. We have a very interesting guest, and I want you, again, if we have the time, I want you to put in some questions to her. All right? So let's see if we have some viewers. All right. Thank you for joining with us, those teachers and school leaders who are from Bicol. Thank you for being with us. Our friends who are from Camarines Sur supporting our guest. Also, our teachers and colleagues who are in Camiling, Tarlac. Hello, good evening to all of you. Our supporters and friends who are in California, good morning to all of you. It is very early over there, but thank you for watching. All right, let's see some birthday celebrants right now. I want to say happy birthday to a good friend of mine, Sheila Montefalco I. Simoni from originally from Nueva Vizcaya, and she's now with her family here in Avon, Massachusetts. Happy birthday, Sheila! And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday week. And I wish you all the happiness and joy in your life. All right, let's see. Anyone else who's with us for this morning? All right, thank you, everybody. Um, Last week we talked about self-love, and we had a very good. We have a very good guest in Shuangming Chang from Donghae, Taiwan. She gave us some tips in terms of self-love, and I also gave you some tips, my protocols when it comes to self love. And I hope to all our viewers who actually replayed the show, thank you very much. I hope you were able to take away some nuggets of wisdom from last week's episode. Now, for today's episode and all the next episodes that I'll be sharing with you, these are actually some of the self mastery strategies that I have included in my upcoming book, Rise Up and Be Better. So, we all know that the last few months, actually 18 months, it has been a real challenge for most of us, especially teachers. I know there are times when you just feel exasperated, exhausted, even sad, right? And through all of these self mastery tools that I have learned both from my mentors, East and West studies and things like that, I am able to be who I am right now, and I am able to at least come up from the feeling of being overwhelmed. So, one of the things that we are going to talk about today is one of the tools that I actually wrote in the book, and it is about being authentic. All right. So, are you ready now for our guest for today? All right. If you are ready and you would want to really welcome her in your hearts, I am going to introduce to you right now Miss Bernadette Delos Santos from Baao Camarines Sur. She is one of the best persons I know here on earth. Whenever I talk to her, she's always very happy. She's always very true to herself. And the best of all is, despite her many accomplishments, she remains true to herself. She remains very authentic to herself, and she is very humble. She is a leader, she's a farmer, she's also an artist, a well celebrated artist. And most of all, one of her recent accomplishments is that her work together with the women of Baal, their embroidery design was featured by one of the designers that is international, which I will tell you later. All right, without much further ado, I'd love to bring in Miss Bernadette Delos Santos, also known to many of you as Manay Bidibidi. Let's go, Miss Bidibidi. Hi, Miss
Hi,
Bidibidi.
hello, good morning, good evening. Yeah, here in the Philippines, we are actually in the evening already, night. So I'm coming from Baao Camarines Sur, and I'm so happy that Alpha invited me to this show so I can share whatever it is that I know about being authentic. Thank you, Alpha.
You're welcome, Miss B, and thank you for being with us in this space and time. So, tell us a little bit of some of the projects that you've been doing. Um, let's catch up in terms of your most recent activities and what have you been involved in?
Okay, so even before the pandemic struck last year in 2020, we've been very busy making the products that are known under the Bidibidi brand. So these products involve a lot of traditional skills like hand weaving, hand embroidery. So when the pandemic started last year, we actually had a lot of cancellations of orders, but that did not stop us from making more products. It was like we had to undergo a pivoting experience so that the enterprise will thrive. So up to now, the enterprise is doing okay. We're making new designs and new products that adapted to whatever the time calls. So yeah, we're still busy and we're still happy doing and making what we do.
That's awesome. For those of our viewers and listeners who don't know what does Bidibidi Enterprises do, could you tell us what is it all about? What products are you involved in? And also the projects that you're involved in?
Okay, the name Bidibidi actually is my nickname. My real name, being Bernadette, could not be pronounced by my brother when we were kids. So he was able to say Bidibidi and it stuck with me. Um, the Bidibidi enterprise is actually a social enterprise in that it empowers the women, especially the rural women of Baao. I started teaching hand embroidery skills in 2015. Baao used to be known as the center for embroidery in the 70s, but the industry died down because of the introduction of computer generated embroidery and the products that came in from other countries, China especially. So I wanted to revive this skill that we were known for. So I started proposing to different government agencies in 2015. And luckily, the DSWD, the Department of Social Welfare here in the Philippines, understood my reason why I wanted to help the women, especially the wives of farmers, and also understood why it is hand embroidery that I wanted to teach the women here in Baao. So they granted me the contract of teaching 150 women. I started teaching them in 2015 and up to 2017, right after the typhoon. The most important reason for me why I needed to teach the women is that Baao basically is a very agricultural town. Most of our folks are engaged in agriculture, but when we are visited by typhoons, which is very common and very often, all our crops are devastated. So that leaves us with no income. But because we have additional skills like crochet, weaving, hand embroidery, then even when we're trying to revive our agriculture or our farms, we have another venue for wherein we can earn and contribute to the family income. And um, it was very timely that when I started teaching the women, we were visited by a super typhoon, and so everything was washed out. But that was also when we started making our products. So there, and also the Bidibidi enterprise wants to educate the youth of Baao. So a part of the earnings of the enterprise is spent in sending students to college. Most of them I advise to take agriculture because I believe that it is very important that people know how to farm farm the way that will not harm the environment. So those are the advocacies of Bidibidi Enterprise. And right now, we are also involved in making products that we send abroad. So we can talk about it later, Alpha.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Miss B. It seems like you are really up and up in terms of your projects. But you know what struck me, Mouse? It's when you said that in 2015, it's your heart is really in empowering and teaching the women of Baal grounded in the farming industry, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's awesome. So let's talk about your love for teaching. And let's go back. Can you tell us in terms of your favorite teacher and how did this teacher of yours. And feel free to plug your favorite teacher's name here. Maybe they're watching or so. Tell us, how did this teacher impact you and the work that you do in empowering women?
Well, actually, the teacher that had the most impact on me and how up to now I deal with students and with women folk was my mother. My mother was a public school teacher, and the reason why I had that big impact from her was that we were orphaned. I was orphaned at the age of 12, and my mother was a teacher, but she was able to send me to college to Ateneo de Manila University by herself alone. And so earlier, after college, I took up business management. So it was not really on becoming a teacher. In fact, when I took up education units to become a teacher, my mother was so surprised. She could not believe I wanted to teach. But then, when I had the experience of dealing with kids and showing them how to make crafts, I
Mhm.
knew then that that was my calling. I wanted to be a teacher. So that pushed me to take up education units just enough for me to take the board. So in 2000, in the year 2000, I was already teaching at the Paref Woodrose in Ayala, Alabang. That was also the time that I took up the board. And I passed, and actually I ranked, I think, eight in the LET, or the licensure examination for teachers. So yeah, that was the inspiration I had. And I noticed my mother, when we were kids and she was teaching in the elementary school, she would bring in and extend teaching outside her classroom, up to our home. So she taught the students how to maintain cleanliness in the house, in the surroundings. She also taught kids the beauty of having a nice garden. So all this I didn't know, I was absorbing. So when it was my turn to teach, that was all I was teaching the kids in Woodrose. I was teaching arts, home economics, and sometimes I get to teach math. So yeah, now I am so thankful to my mother, who passed on quite a time ago, for instilling or planting the seed in my heart for the love of teaching.
Wow, that's amazing, Miss B. For all the years that I've known you, I never knew in terms of, the impact of your mom in your life. But, whenever I see you, your joy just comes out. And I'm sure every single youth and the women of Baal that you come to teach every single day, they appreciate that, right? That's why when I was really writing my book, and one of the self mastery tools is really about authenticity, I could not think of any other person other than you to be, the epitome of somebody who is authentic. Kasi, that's because, first and foremost, you live like a very light-hearted kind of life. And you know what I also love about you? And maybe you also got this from your mom. I'm not sure. It's your signature laugh.
Wow, that is from my mom, definitely. She laughs like I laugh now. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, folks, those of you who are listening or watching right now, if you have some interactions with Miss B, oh my goodness, her laugh is like the best laughter. So if you're like really feeling so sad, listen to her laugh. Um, you would really be transformed. So I don't know whether Miss B can laugh right now, but go ahead, Miss B.
Like, I laugh, really. I laugh at things. When things go wrong, I laugh it out. When things are good, I still laugh. So it's my reaction to everything that happens to my life. In fact, all my posts, if you read my posts at FB, will always end with wahaha, because that's how I look at life. Everything is laughable.
It really is, right? It's
Yeah.
laughable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while we're talking about things being everything, like whatever life gives you, right? It's like laughable. But in connection with that, you are so true to yourself, and it just shines through. So, can you give our teachers who are, I know a few of them, and I know some of them who, at times of the day, they can't even laugh. And we want to hear from you, Miss B. What are some of the tips that you can share to our teachers when it comes to being authentic?
Okay. I've always been told that I am authentic. I and I know I am, but I do not do it consciously. I think it comes out of me so naturally for many reasons. Um, when I started living alone here in the province, I became more reflective. So I've been reflecting about life, and I realized that there are things that really help you to be authentic. And the first one of which is being always connected with the source, meaning whoever you believe in, it may be God, it may be Allah or the universe, you have to always be connected with it. So because when you are, then always everything works out for you. Okay, so the second thing that I noticed on me being labeled and of course living the life of being authentic is that um you always have to look at everything in a positive way. So like what I said earlier, everything is laughable because some of the things, I think most of the things are out of our control anyway. So why be negative about it? So that is how I deal with my life, at least. And of course, the third one, and I was asking you if I can say it so bluntly, but I will say it in a very nice way. I think you always have to listen to yourself, not minding so much of what other people will say, because anyway, we have been given um the facility or the faculty to know what makes us happy and what makes us not happy. So when something you're doing makes you happy, then go for it. If something that you're doing um creates fear in you or doubt, then it's time to rethink and maybe stop for a while of whatever you're doing and listen. Listen to yourself. That is the best gift that we were given. The ability to feel happy or feel other emotions. So there, Alpha, I think, yeah, those
Wow.
are the things that we do to stay authentic to ourselves.
Yeah. Thanks, Miss B, for all of those tips. What I heard is that listen to yourself, and then connecting with the source. It could be Jesus, it could be God, it could be the universe, it could be whoever you have faith in. And what else? So let me see. Listen to yourself, connect with the source, and then everything is laughable or everything works
Work
out,
out.
like totally
Yes.
everything, right?
Totally.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Which
And
actually,
yeah, and we also can feel like fear. So it somehow warns us that something that we're doing is not good for us. So when we feel fear, then we stop. When we feel good, then we go on. So yun lang ang aking guide. Those are the things that guide me.
ang galing. Ang galing is that's really good. And what I love also is about they said if your faith is bigger than your fear, then everything is really gonna work out. And it's
Yeah.
true. It's true, Miss B, right? The last eight
Yes.
months, especially during the pandemic, I've heard you said that you'd had some challenges when it comes to Bidibidi enterprises. But gosh, look at you. The projects that you're doing right now, you're back up on your feet and really shining through all of these opportunities that are coming your way, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, all right. Anything else that you would like to add in terms of, being authentic?
Um, Being authentic also permeates whatever you're doing. Like the paintings I make, I cannot be commissioned or told what to paint. So I always paint what I love to paint. So like also do what I love to do. So like nobody tells me what to do. It's always me. Nobody tells me what to paint. If you ask me to paint something, it will not be as nice as something I paint coming from me. So I think that that also makes me more authentic,
Yeah.
listening to myself more.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And I know one of the things that you've done recently is you installed some beautiful paintings. And it was titled Life is Good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, the curator of the gallery is Art Lounge Manila. It's located at the Podium. It's a premier mall in the metro in Manila. I wasn't able to attend the opening because travels here are so limited. We have to undergo a lot of protocol. So I opted not to attend physically the opening. I just sent my paintings to the gallery ahead of time, and it was the curator who said that I bet we better entitle the show "Life is Good" because anyway, it's my mantra, and they were able to see from my works that it really shows the colors, especially that life is good. So I cannot paint something dull or gray. It's always lovely colors that when you look at the painting, you can't help but smile because life is good. And I was asked, why do you always say life is good? I said, because it is. So actually, it really depends on how you look at life. So there,
Wow. Life is good because it
it
is.
is.
Simple as that. Because the whole truth is we're living in the best time of our lives. And whether we perceive it, right, Miss B? Whether we
Yes,
perceive it as good or maybe we perceive it as bad, there's really no such thing as good or bad.
yeah,
Everything, just like what you mentioned earlier, everything works out. Actually, it all works out to our advantage, right?
yes, always.
So, what else in terms of your paintings and your life is good paintings? What has been, the most powerful experience that you've had painting those curated pieces of yours?
Um, the most powerful effect of being a guest of that premier gallery was that I gained more confidence because I am not a trained artist. I didn't take fine arts in college. So all the paintings, all the art I have is actually very raw. But there was also an artist from the NCCA because I was connected with NCCA before. Um, he told me, he asked me, sabi niya, what kind of artist are you? So I said, the unlearned kind. And so, because I didn't take any painting course. And so he said, I think that is the better kind. Because because my art is very raw, I am not um I am not imprisoned in rules. Like, because when you take up arts in college or after college, you are taught the rules of the colors. Like, you cannot put red beside orange, those things. But because I am not learned, I can just mix colors, and it always comes out that the color combinations I make really look joyful and happy. So I think there was wisdom in what he told me, that the being raw is the better kind of artist. And I thank him for that, because it actually inspired me more to be true to what I paint. Um, most of my works are flowers, and the body of works that I had exhibited in the recent exhibit was mostly mythical flowers, meaning they're not real flowers, but they symbolize seeds and flowers, because that's being immersed in agriculture. I am always in awe of how a single seed can grow into a plant and give out a lot of blessings. So that's the reason why most of my paintings, if not all, are have flowers as the subject, flowers and seeds, including human seeds.
Wow. Wow, Miss B, I had to pause with all of the seeds of wisdom that I just heard from you. Um, Sabi mo, you are the unlearned artist. And because you did not confine yourself with the rules of the society,
Yes,
right? You're
yes,
able to express yourselves, your true colors, your true authenticity, also by way of your masterpieces, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
wow. So I'm going to take that as an educator. So, us as an educator or us as a school leader, we are also artists in one way, shape, or form, right? We are the artists because we mold like the minds of the future generation, the children that are in front of us, right? So,
Yes.
what do you think are the tips that we can learn from the unlearned artists as we paint or as we mold the minds of the children?
Okay. Being a teacher, I also practiced being not confined with rules. In fact, I can remember a lot of memories when I was in with Paref Woodrose, that made or that revolutionized their ways of teaching. I was teaching home economics, and the children in Woodrose looked at home economics as a very boring subject,
Mm,
because the previous teacher would teach only from the books. So I introduced crafts that they have never seen and never done before. So my students were so excited every time we have a time together. They are so excited. In fact, most of them are my friends in Facebook. They still could remember what we were making. So while the home economics curriculum focused on the old crafts, I was introducing hand painted baseball caps or dragonflies made of beads that they have never heard before.
mm,
And also, the parents appreciated these things because I provided the kits. So they are not going from store to store looking for the materials needed for the projects that I introduced. So the management of the school really appreciated the ways I introduced in the department, and in fact wanted me to stay, and had me as a consultant in their building the new HA building. But it was also the time that I went to the US and held my first exhibit outside the country that I had to go. So I believe that as an educator, we have to have an open heart and mind. We, of course, we have the lesson plans and those things, but there are things that are beyond our control that can manifest in a classroom or on a student. So we have to have the open heart and mind to understand the kid or the student and let them be whatever they want to be. I remember a student of mine. The project was dragonfly, but she wanted to make a butterfly. So, but the ways of making it are the same. So I just let her make a butterfly instead of the dragonfly. I think it's very important that students would experience acceptance from the teachers. And it's also very important that we as teachers, although a student may be different from the rest, we can also appreciate that we have the room for those different students in a class. So I think that was very effective.
Wow, Miss B. Napapawaw ako dito because you really have a powerful message to all our teachers because just imagine if the world of education and the educators out there will have every single day this attitude of opening the hearts and opening the minds of our students. And with the platform that they have, which is the classroom, their creativity as educators come out. Imagine what the world of education would be like, diba? Oh
Yes,
my
it's
goodness.
going to be an exciting world.
It
Yeah.
will it will be. And with that, why don't we take a break for a few minutes? I want our teachers, our school leaders to be really thinking about what you mentioned, opening hearts and the opening minds of our children. We'll be right back.
Have you been dreaming of launching your own podcast but don't know how and where to start? Let ValuePod Productions podcast editing and management services help you effortlessly launch, syndicate, and grow your podcast. Message us at facebook.com/ValuePodProductions. ValuePod Productions podcast editing and management services, humanizing personal connections through podcasting.
TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go. Please watch all our shows as seen on screen. Imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Please watch Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher on Saturdays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Manila time, 10:30 p.m. You can also watch us live or on replay via Facebook or YouTube. You can also follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search hashtag TNCNow. For sponsorships, please email now at the new channel or send us a DM. Enjoy these life-changing shows because we made them for you. All right, everybody, we're back right here. And I want to bring back in our special guest today, who is Miss Bernadette Delos Santos, also known as Manay Bidibidi from Camarines Sur. Welcome back, Miss B. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Alpha.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, goodness, we were talking about the power of education and how you left us off earlier with opening our hearts and opening our minds. I want to bring us back and dial us back into some of the projects that I've seen you being involved in, particularly the projects where you get the attention for one way or the other, some top celebrities locally and internationally, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So tell us, what are the things that you've done so that your work is acknowledged and loved? They're loved by Tessa Prieto Valdez. You know, she's the fashion icon in the Philippines. Happy or Heart Evangelista, you know, again, a celebrity in the Philippines. And most recently, I heard that Christian Louboutin, one of the luxury international brands, um, have chosen or featured one of your embroidery designs in one of their bags. Is that true?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
true?
That is true.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Filipino
Mm-hmm.
talents and Filipino artists like you just really make it happen, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, tell us, what did you
So,
do? Yeah.
um, it boils down to being authentic. I
Mhm.
think Alpha being authentic really was the factor that
Mhm.
made a great impact on the celebrities that you mentioned. There are a lot of celebrities here in the Philippines that really enjoy wearing the products that we make, especially the bags. Like Tessa Prieto Valdez is an icon in the a fashion icon here, but she loves everything Bidibidi, from bags to even the face masks that we make. She would wear it wherever she is. And being always on the spotlight, it gives the enterprise, the Bidibidi enterprise, extra mileage in terms of marketing. And
Mhm.
this is not these are not products that I give for free. These are products that they buy themselves. So there's also Pia Wurzbach, the 2015 Miss Universe, who really wear or carry with her bags that are bitty bitty and proud to wear them. So when Pia Wurzbach wrote me, she sent me a sweet note. She said, just continue doing what you're doing. Meaning they love the story behind each product, and that's why whenever they own one, they know that many hands have made great deal of effort in putting up or making the product, because each product of Bidibidi is actually a project or a product of a community. No one woman has made one bag. It's always a conglomeration of talents or skills to make a bag. And I think the story that, because each piece also carries with it a story. In fact, some of my bags have been featured in Neiman Marcos in New York. There is this Filipino designer who saw my bags, and he wanted to make use of our community to make his designs. So the spring summer collection of this designer, who is Rafi Totenko, um, featured my bags, and I was shocked on how much my bag was being sold in New York. My God. But of course,
Wow.
yeah, my God. I always believe that Bidi bags can be bought by a lot of people. So I do not price very high. I want a lot of people to enjoy what we're doing. But when I browsed his Instagram post and saw the price, I was shocked that people would pay for my creation that much. So that experience really gave me more confidence to make more. And so I could not claim that my designs are the top of designs in the fashion world. They are not clear cut designs. Some of them are inspirations from nature. I actually only concentrate on the skills that are available here in Baao, so that my products will definitely be made by the local community. So, but I do not see that as a limitation, because if one notices, some designers would um, employ a lot of skills, like the weaving in Laguna or the weaving in Mindanao. But Bidi Bidi, or the brand that we carry, would only use the skills that are available here in Bao and the nearby towns. So, being true to myself, I've never tried to impress people. It's always um, take it or leave it. That attitude. I
Yes.
think
Yes.
I am not a very good pleaser. It's pleaser of other people, but I please myself the most. Like if I do it, it is so hard to explain, but in simple words, like there are guides in fashion as to, for example, the colors. What are the coming colors for some spring summer 2022? I never follow that. I never follow that. I of course I look at magazines, but I never follow the dictates of fast fashion, because I believe in slow fashion. I want my pieces to be used not because it is uso or it is the fad. I want them to be used because they are beautiful without considering kung ano ang uso or ano ang baduy. Um,
That's right.
Di ba? So,
Yeah.
I think staying true to myself and being authentic and being honest about it. Being honest, some people will see it as limitations. For me, it's not. It's a minefield. The skills and the art of my embroiderers are a minefield. It is awesome that they can do whatever I ask them to do. Of course, they had the basic training which I gave them, but right now I don't need to dictate on them the colors. I have evoked in them their own creativity, so they would know what colors to place beside each other, and it always comes out beautiful. So there are no two pieces the same because um, the embroiderers would have their own moods. So maybe they would like to use more yellows today and more pinks tomorrow. So they are not limited. They are free to express themselves, and that has contributed to the beauty of the products, which created the demand, especially by personalities that we have mentioned. Marami pang artista ang gumagamit ng Bidibidi. In fact, soon I will be posting the photos of the new Miss Universe Philippines using also the Bidibidi bag. So yeah, I think people really see through you in your products. So being authentic and true to yourself has helped to myself, has helped me a lot in getting across. Imagine products from Baaw, Camarines Sur, attracting the attention of Christian Lobotan, 'di ba? Parang
Yeah.
it
Uh-huh.
and everything is not planned. It just happens. So when you do something you love doing, when you are passionate about what you're doing, it is impossible that you cannot be noticed. You will always be noticed and rewarded.
Oh my gosh, that is powerful, Miss B. What you just said is that when you are true to yourself, when you're passionate the things that you are doing, you are unlimited and you will succeed no matter what. And that's what you've done. Grabe, I'm so
Yes.
proud of you, Miss B. I'm really so proud of you of the work that you've done, the talents that you have. Not only that, your commitment to empowering the women of Baal Camarines Sur. And you're right, the fact that it almost happened serendipitously, right? All of these things, it's like amazing, all because of being true to yourself, right? Um,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I'm looking at some of the background. You've got some bags right there. Do you want to show to our viewers, one of the bags and tell us where our viewers will be able to see you, will be able to buy some of your products, etc., etc.
Okay. So one of the best selling products that we have is this Frida Kahlo inspired bag. So the shell is made of handwoven basket made of bangkuan grass. The grass is actually considered as weeds in the farms. So before we were making the bags, the weeds are considered pests, and so farmers would cut them and just burn them. So when we started making bags out of the bangkuan grass, they had extra income, and of course, it's more beneficial to our environment because they stopped burning the cut grass. So I being an environmentalist, it is one of my advocacies. I make sure that my products will speak of those advocacies. So, like this bag,
Mm-hmm.
the shell inside is made of grass, but the it is wrapped with the patchwork of upcycled fabrics. So, ayoko kasi nagsasayang. So, old, ah, masyado akong I don't know how recycler. So, if you notice, this is a patchwork of used denim and camo, and we embellish each piece with the hand embroidery of a face or a caras, and each flower each is crocheted. So everything is handmade. So I was asked, bakit handmade? Meron namang computer that can generate the very precise embroidery. Eh, sabi ko, you're missing the point. The
Mm-hmm.
point is to provide livelihood to as many people as we can. So if you introduce the machine, then you kill the person, right? So
Yes.
each bag is made by a community, because no one, like what I said earlier, one person or one lady would do the patchwork, another one would do the embroidery, and several hands will do the crochet. So it is a community, and so I am so proud that I'm working now with a lot of different communities to bring out um, products that are, for me, beautiful, and I'm sure for others are also beautiful. I also was surprised, Alpha, that even during lockdowns, people
Uh-huh.
would come here to buy bidi bags. And so, ano ba ang meron? Siguro may magic or may gayuma ang products ko. But the bags have always been labeled as happy bags, because
Mm,
when they have one, it makes them happy.
mm.
So yeah,
Wow.
those things.
Yeah.
So I have an Instagram account. It's
Mhm.
Bidibidi 101. They can
Okay.
view most of my bags there. And because we don't participate in fairs now, it's very hard to go to Manila. So they can just let me know which bag or which item they like, and we ship via LBC, and they can just we can just ship to them whatever they want. So also right now that the pandemic is still very much um, nakakatakot dito, we still
Mhm.
wear a lot of masks.
Mhm.
So the making of the masks actually have helped us sustain or thrive during the pandemic. We make beautiful masks. Like Tessa Prieto Valdez will always wear the Bidibidi mask even when she was there at the US recently. So each mask, may I show you a sample?
Of
So
course.
like this one.
Wow. That's
So
pretty.
there. So this one, the fabric is hand woven
Uh-huh.
by the folks in Buhi, Camarines Sur. It's a town near Baao, and
Mhm.
the embroidery is made by my Bidibidi women. This
Oh.
was commissioned by a class of the Assumption College in Makati. So their
Mhm.
batch ordered a lot, and I don't know if they sold it or if they distributed the mask for free, but the orders just keep on coming. It's nonstop. We never run out of work to do. But for us, it's not work, it's play. So we enjoy whatever we're making. We put our hearts and colors into whatever we're making.
Oh gosh, that makes me very, very happy, Miss B. And it's so perfect because it's probably about how many days before Christmas? Maybe about 71
70?
from now? 70? Yes. So,
Yes.
folks, right here, we've got 70 more days before Christmas. So, if you are thinking of giving gifts to your loved ones, friends, and your fellow educators, think about supporting the community of Baao and supporting the Bidibidi enterprises so that you too will be able to have the impact in the community and also for the women of Baao and Camarines Sur. So, oh my gosh, Miss B, what an awesome conversation with you this morning. And I took a lot from you. Just being so authentic is really powerful. You mentioned about, acknowledging what you feel, listening to yourself, and always connecting with the source, right? And at the end of the day, everything
Yeah.
is really gonna work out. But
Yes.
what I love the most in terms of what you said is really life is good because it is.
It is.
It really
Yes.
is. So, Miss B, from
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of my heart and all of our viewers, our educators, school leaders all around the globe who are watching with us right now, we thank you. And we hope and pray that you will continue to bless more women and that your talents will be showcased around the world because through your authenticity in your paintings, in your products, joy, and you said your happiness, the happy bags will be there for us. So thank you, Miss
Yes.
B, and we'll see
Thank
you.
you for having me, Alpha.
Thank you too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us for this wonderful episode of the Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher. You just listened to a wonderful conversation with a very good friend of mine, Miss Bernadette Delos Santos of Camarines Sur. If you are able to share this with at least three of your friends, especially your friends who are educators or school leaders who really wanted to show their joy and happiness by being authentic. All right, everybody, have a good night, Philippines. Have a great morning over here in the US, and have a great day, everybody. Thank you.